Hey there. So you moderated one of the more infamous debates with Donald Trump in 2016. We showed a tiny clip of that at the beginning of the show. The rules were very different as they were when you and I were together just in December. There was a crowd. There was no cutting of the mics. You said these new rules are a mistake. Why?
Look, Elizabeth, this is not brain surgery. It's television. There's supposed to be some entertainment value inherent in it. That is what makes the people watch. If they just wanted a lecture on policy, they would be watching C-SPAN, which literally no one is. And I think they've forgotten that having an audience, having some electricity, some energy in the room is a good thing. It's not all about how scared Joe Biden is of Trump winning over the audience, because we know from the reporting that it was Biden's team that insisted on no audience. Trump, the natural showman, wanted one, but wanted a debate with Biden more. So he ceded the point. But I really think that the audience brings a lot to the debate. You can feel the energy in the room.
Yeah.
They are controllable. And as you know, if they speak out a couple of times early on and it's to the point where you can't hear the candidates, they themselves tend to quiet down because they want to hear the debate. I think that's a mistake, and I think the biggest mistake is cutting the mics when the other one is not speaking.
Why? I mean, we just showed a montage. I mean, he interrupted both Biden and Chris Wallace 145 times in that 90-minute debate.
So he was too interrupty, but I don't agree with that number, because if you go back and watch that debate, Chris Wallace deserved to be interrupted. He wouldn't let them debate. Chris Wallace was like, it's the Chris Wallace show. My questions are what's most important here. I'm here to get answers. As opposed to, you've got these two political giants in front of you. Let them have at it. You know, we talked about this a million times in advance of our debate.
Right.
If fire breaks out on the stage, let it burn. Let it work out. You don't have to be the little school marm saying, no, 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 be quiet. No, my question is what's important. No, they're the important ones. You're the dumb moderator. You should be shrinking yourself down to nothing. You should not be having such a big role. And so Trump's interruptions of Chris Wallace don't count.
Yeah, I remember when we were working on questions, we were deliberately trying to phrase questions and frame questions so that they would debate. We wanted them to engage and mix it up. I actually think, Megyn, I think that these new Biden rules of cutting the mic, I think that's going to help Trump, though.
I think so, too. It will help Trump in some ways, because if he can't control his need to interrupt, he will appear less rude to those soccer moms who are hesitant about Trump. They definitely turned on him after that interrupting debate that you just showed the clip from. So it could help Trump, but I also think it hurts him. It's why Biden wanted the rule, because Trump is clever. Trump is quick. Trump has quick comebacks that could create a moment that's very memorable, and Biden can't do that. I don't think this version of Biden can. So he was smart to push the rule.
And we all know the viral moments, the clips that will live on social media, are what the vast majority, sadly, of Americans may see. Listen, for months, Trump and his allies have been painting Biden as barely functional, a man who has trouble remembering where he is. In the last few days, we've seen them pivot. Is it too late? Did they set the bar too low for too long?
Well, it wasn't just Trump and his allies. I mean, we've all seen Biden's senior moments. And I know the White House now is trying to say it's all cheap fakes. That's not going to work. We've seen too many. We've seen hundreds of these moments. It's not just a couple lately that may or may not have been misrepresented. So I'm not sure how much you can blame that on Trump. Of course, he's leaning into, oh, he's too old. Now, tonight, it's going to be interesting, because if you know any senior person who's struggling with senior moments, they do have times when they could perform well, when you have a conversation with them, when they seem very on their game. And I think most people will realize if Biden has such a night, it doesn't take away what they've been seeing for months now with him, which is he's an especially old 81-year-old. But I do think going into the evening, Trump is probably wishing they had started the lowering of expectations thing earlier than this week.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.